What's going on, everybody? Welcome in Fantasy Alarm Monday Night Football live stream. I'm your host, Howard Bender. With me here, James Grande. And James, I got to tell you, man, what a crazy week one already to start. The pay lines for DFS were ridiculously insane. We were just talking about that. How'd you enjoy yesterday's festivities? And you looking to play tonight's two-game slate?
I enjoyed the fantasy football aspect. My Giants suffered a tough defeat yesterday, so I was a little discouraged on that end. I was also discouraged putting up over 200 points in multiple lineups and kind of and min cashing. So that was also a little upsetting. If you told me last year I was going to put up three lineups of 200 points or more, I'd already planned a trip out to California. Come visit you, do whatever I want, but that apparently is not the case this year. So, but I will be playing a little bit tonight as well.
Yeah, listen, man, I'm all about just screwing around for Monday night. Like, I'm surprised actually that they didn't do the Monday Thursday slate. I wonder if they're
Yep.
gonna if they're gonna end up doing something like that though in the future. I can't imagine unless they really all just want to like push that turbo one game contest there. I'm hoping not, but I mean, listen, I like the games that we've got tonight. I definitely think that you need to just stick to the GPP contest. Don't be dealing with the cash lineups. I mean, who wants to deal with the cash lineup, right? In a two-game
No,
slate.
no.
But then you also have to figure out ways to differentiate yourself from the pack. Like that's definitely one of the most important things. So, I mean, I posted some examples over at fantasyalarm.com. You guys can check that out. If you subscribe to the playbook, then you can see what I'm talking about. There are a couple of spots where I think I differentiated, but I mean, let's talk about a little game flow. Who might you be on in these games? Let's start with Jets against Detroit. Again, I'm a Jets fan. I've got high hopes for Sam Darnold for long term, but I
Right.
mean, it really wouldn't surprise me to see Detroit own this game.
I mean, like the every young quarterback has their troubles with turnovers, and Darnold had a lot in college last year, and yeah, the hype is real and the talent is real, but I mean, 25 turnovers and 14 or 25, 14 interceptions and 12 fumbles, I think it was last year, which is a lot in college football. You're not really facing the type of talent you're going to face stepping in every Sunday and Monday night, but yeah, I don't have much expectations here. I think the Lions defense is like the play here just from like a turnover standpoint and a touchdown standpoint. I think if I were to maybe call a defensive touchdown, it would be the Lions on either a pick six or a fumble. But I don't necessarily have interest in Darnold. I mean, obviously you gotta like Stafford, right? Third most passing yards last year, fourth most touchdowns. We know all the weapons he has are everywhere in the backfield, in the receiving core. I mean, obviously, Luke Wilson is a little downgrade at tight end, but we don't really, it's not anything that we need to, oh man, Ebron's gone. Stafford, check him off. So, I mean, I think Stafford's an elite play. I mean, the Jets secondary isn't bad by any stretching the imagination, but like with the mess in the Detroit backfield, I can't imagine Stafford's not throwing the ball 100 times tonight.
Yeah, that's the real question is when you look at this Detroit backfield, you wonder what's going to happen. Will LeGarrette Blount just be the short yardage guy? Will they give Kerryon Johnson a chance? How much are you going to work on Theo Riddick? Now, the Jets last year, I think they ranked somewhere in the neighborhood of like 24th or 25th against running back pass plays. So, all of a sudden, Theo Riddick does become a possibility here. I think it's just a matter of how you feel like this game is going to go. Jets corners, yeah, listen. They pick up Tremaine Johnson from the Rams. That's a huge ad. That's a huge grab
Huge,
for them.
huge.
And then you've got on the other side, you've got Morris Claiborne, who, he doesn't grade out well on PFF, but if you looked at his game log last year, he actually looked pretty decent from a cover standpoint. And then you've got Buster Screen, and Buster Screen is the slot corner for the Jets. This dude's a piece of garbage. He's terrible. I mean, it's like really like how long do we have to go with this dude as our slot corner? So I'm loving Golden Tate tonight along with Matthew Stafford. I do think, though, if you're talking about like let's say FanDuel, because it's only half point PPR, I think you can give a look to Marvin Jones here. I'm not interested in Kenny Galladay. I'm
Right.
sure everyone and their grandmother's going to put Kenny Galladay in their lineup tonight and think they're being contrarian here. I think the contrarian move is to fade Galladay. And I'm with you as far as Luke Wilson goes.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, they weren't leaning heavily on the tight end. I don't think the last time the Lions actually leaned on the tight end was, I think, Brandon Pettigrew. I don't even know if you were born yet at that point.
I know who Brandon Pettigrew is.
Really? Was that like the first words you said? You like pulled out the passy and you're like, Brandon Pettigrew.
Yeah, something like that. That was, I'd have to fact check, call my parents and see what, but I mean, that's definitely like within like probably top 10 words, first 10 words I said.
Brandon Pettigrew. That would be amazing. Like that would be
interesting.
That would be like without a doubt. Like even if it was just somebody from the Pettigrew family,
right,
who actually did that, but to get a baby to say that as like one of the last words or one of the first words, I mean, that would be absolutely fantastic. Got some questions rolling in here, James, before we continue and talk a little bit more about the Jets, because I just don't want to lose sight of them over here. Well, who's this? So, Paul and Boats. 454. He needs a wide receiver and a flex between Gurley, Tate. Oh, Gurley and Tate are locked. So he needs a wide receiver and a flex from. I know, right? Looks like Rent. What are these names? Why do you have T.Y. Hilton and Cobb? Why are you listing Packers, dude? Why are you listing Packers?
Missed the boat on that one.
Like, that was yesterday's game. What are you talking about here? I don't really understand where are the other players who you're looking at? Like, boom, automatic. Like, I don't even know. Maybe this is like an issue with Periscope here. I don't know, dude. Find another medium to work it out. Mendo Bruce, no, I didn't paint the shed. Come on, you guys don't like my new backdrop here? Little Fantasy Alarm TV. I was filming videos this morning in the shed, and I just thought that I would kind of pretty up the place with a little backdrop here. Don't worry, Shed's gonna make a return. It always does. Everybody loves the Shed, James.
Everyone loves the Shed.
Why wouldn't you love the Shed? The Shed is the place to be. I'm telling you. I know my wife's not watching this live stream, but oh man, dude, do you know how many times I even fake just having to work just to come out to the Shed? Just be like, yeah, I need a little quality me time, a little alone time. James, you and Bree, you'll get to that spot. You'll get old and jaded like me, no question about it. And when you do,
I hope I have a shed as good. I hope I have a shed as yours.
You're gonna thank me for the words of wisdom. At Paul and Boats, dude, I totally don't understand your question here because I don't see any of your players listed. So. I love you, and I see you ha-haing me here, but I really don't see it. This makes no sense. This Periscope is broken. It's broke. All right, so let's just keep talking about the games, and we'll go from there. So we talked about the Lions. Let's talk about the Jets here a little bit. Now you said Sam Darnold definitely he's injury, he's interception prone, he's turnover prone. I get that. But what happens if we're talking about, let's say, garbage time? Like, let's say Detroit goes up. Let's say Detroit not somehow, but let's say Detroit, like, real quickly, like, they jack up the Jets. They put up 28 points in the first half. Okay. Jets are playing from behind. You got to have Darnold throwing. You got to have him take chances downfield to Robbie Anderson. And then we always see quarterbacks kind of lean heavily on their tight ends, at least the rookie quarterbacks. Right. So anybody from the Jets, would you say, like, could you get away with throwing Robbie Anderson into your lineup? Maybe even making a dart throw at, like, Chris Herndon, the tight end.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm more interested in the Jets receivers because you mentioned the garbage time. I think there could be a potential for too many turnovers, which is why I'm off of Darnold. But that doesn't impact, a Robbie Anderson or a Quincy Enunwa. Or, I mean, really, really, really deep dive Terrell Pryor, maybe. I mean, like Anderson is the guy. If you're gonna play a Jets receiver, he's gonna be the chalky play, especially with Javon Curse out. I mean Jermaine, sorry. Javon Curse.
Javon Curse. Imagine bringing that
yeah.
dude back. That would be outstanding.
Yeah, that would be pretty good. A pretty good pass rush. So with him doubtful, I don't know if it's officially inactive as of now. So Anderson's going to be the primary target, but I think, like I said, an intriguing route. I mean, we saw Enunwa 2 years ago before his injury be really, really productive. 58 catches 2 years ago for 800 plus yards. So I think like the Jets provide a more sneaky opportunity than the Lions do. I mean, obviously because the Lions are 7-point favorites here. They're going to be the more heavily owned team. But even from like a running back standpoint, the Lions allowed the fourth most receptions to running backs last year. So, I mean, the Jets have a pretty good pass-catching back in Bilal Powell. I think the Jets could be a really nice, especially on DraftKings, like guys like Enunwa who are more volume, guy like Powell who's going to catch volume. So, I mean, I think those are two really sneaky plays in my eyes.
Yeah, I'm not so sure how sneaky Bilal Powell is, and we're getting some commentary here on Periscope right now at Ed Scala saying garbage time is Bilal Powell dump-off time.
Right.
And it really kind of is. So, I see a guy like Bilal Powell kind of being a little on the chalky side, at least just for a 2-game, for a short slate kind of thing here. I don't know, man. I'm wondering. It's very interesting here. I kind of have a feeling that this game could be the better game of the two that we're going to see, and I kind of feel like I could take the over in this game and the under in the Raiders Rams game and feel kind of good about it. And from a DFS standpoint, then all of a sudden it's like, okay, if you stack a lineup here with, let's say you go with Stafford and Tate and Marvin Jones, and you splash in Bilal Powell or Isaiah Crowell even, who could end up being a contrarian play, and kind of stack this game a little bit here, because I'm not so sure about this other game. So let's dive right into it here and talk about the Rams Raiders. So, all right, first of all, the Rams, when you've got Marcus Peters and Aqib Talib, as your cover corners, I mean, that's stupid.
No thanks.
When you've got Aaron Donald is back. Who's that big old run stuffer sitting in the middle for the defensive line there, huh?
Sue Bird? Oh no, Sue something something Sue. I don't know. There's a Sue in there somewhere.
I mean, really, this defense is just to me, it's insane. To me, it's absolutely insane. Yeah. So, I worry about the ground game here. For the I just worry about the offense. Like, it's weird that the spread is only 5.5. It's weird that it's not like more than a touchdown, based on the fact that everybody's projecting the Rams to just beat up on them and beat up on every team that they face like this, because their defense is so good. But is it because their defense is so good we feel like maybe they're not going to score a ton of points and not worry about it because, well, hey, our defense isn't going to let up anybody any points.
I mean, their offense is pretty damn good at themselves. So, like, I don't really see Oakland keeping this close. So I'm with you. I mean, it opened as a pick'em. Like, the line opened as a pick'em, which is just kind of mind-boggling, right? I mean, is Oakland playing at home that, like, we're going to the black pit, like, it's so scary. Like, I don't think that's the case at all. I mean, I'm not targeting anyone. I have one, shot in the dark guy in Oakland that I want, and we'll get to the running back position. But other than that, I mean, I'm just the Rams, like you said, the Jets Lions kind of seem like the way to go here. Especially from a DFS standpoint.
I'm kind of leaning that way. All right, let's break down you want to break down the Rams or the Raiders first? You say you have somebody in the backfield you want to talk about. Talk about it, man. Who is it?
I mean,
Say Doug Martin. Go ahead,
I'm going to say Doug Martin. I mean,
say Doug Martin one more time.
Doug freaking Martin.
It doesn't surprise me, and I feel the exact same way. You tell everybody. You tell the world, because I'm with you here.
I mean, look, Marshawn is old. There's no way else to put it. I mean, he didn't really have a great year last year. I mean, he was good, over 4 yards a carry for his age, was good. But I mean, he just had a groin thing that was kind of just pushed aside, right? Like, he's just not on the injury report magically anymore. And, maybe it was a Belichick thing where, not all these Patriots just end up on the injury report, even though none of them are actually injured. Who knows? But if this game gets out of hand, they're not putting Marshawn Lynch in the game, and it's going to 100%. And the Oakland staff has come out and said that they love Doug Martin as it is. So, they love Doug Martin. I don't see it being a close game. I don't love Doug Martin at all, but like, we're on a 4-game slate and we're looking for volume, and we already just we talked about the Lions backfield for about 4 seconds, and it was bleh, because all 4 of them are just it's a toss up. So I mean, Martin can end up being the guy that wins the slate because he's cheap. In a blowout, he's going to get the carries. So, I mean, I think that's the guy that I'm targeting from Oakland, and that's really like the exposure that I want.
I'm looking at, and because I think that they're obviously going to have to pass, and they're going to have to try and move the ball. But I think it's more of like the short passing game. So I like the Doug Martin call there for that. I like Jared Cook, the tight end. I mean, listen, he's not my favorite. I like Jared Cook probably the most out of all the tight ends who are going tonight. I'm kind of throwing a dart here at Chris Herndon for the Jets, because we watched the preseason. While Leggett seems to be seeing the heavier load of snaps, we do see Chris Herndon on the field taking snaps and being targeted inside the red zone. So I'm kind of taking that little chance there. But Jared Cook for me in this other game for a short passing game for Derek Carr. And I look to maybe Jordy Nelson on this. But, I mean, it's going to be a very, very tough call for them. Somebody actually asked me in the chat on Periscope if Darius Slay was going to be blanketing Robbie Anderson. He'll see a lot of Robbie Anderson, but the Lions haven't indicated at all that they're looking to shadow Anderson here. So Slay will stay on his side of the field, and the Jets will find ways to kind of open him up and at least just pull him away for the most part, or at least try to. So I'm not really that concerned about that. Again, though, Amari Cooper, for me, he's either going to be guarded by Marcus Peters or Aqib Talib. So, where do you go with that? It's like nowheresville. So,
yeah. I'm okay.
What about let's talk Rams side then here. Gurley, run all day long.
Yeah, right. I mean, of course, he's going to be the top play on the slate. He's going to be the chalkiest play on the slate. He's almost 10K, which is crazy. Like, just seeing that on draft is just insane. But I mean, he's the best. He's the best player on this 2-game slate. So yeah, let's play Gurley. And in the wide receiver, in this group of wide receivers, this merry-go-round of receivers, I think Robert Woods. I think Brandon Cooks is everyone's, darling. He's kind of like the Lion, like Kenny Golladay. Everyone loves Kenny Golladay. Everyone loves Brandon Cooks too. But, I mean, Robert Woods caught just like 7 less passes than Cooks, and Cooks had like 50 more targets or 40 more targets than him last year. So Woods is much more effective. He's a big play threat, just like Cooks is. And if I were to rank the Rams receivers, I think Woods, and I'm doing this DraftKings because I primarily play a lot of DraftKings. Woods, Kupp, Cooks, because I think Kupp, we saw him 70 catches last year. I mean, he's Goff's security blanket, and that's very obvious. Like, it's very obvious. So I think those are in order. I would play Woods, Kupp, Cooks.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are gonna be on Cooks just
Yep.
because, I mean, one of the things that I've been as Wager Alarm, and you guys should check out wageralarm.com. As Wager Alarm grows, I start looking at things from a different angle here.
Right.
And and I look at, okay, with everybody, um, one of the things that people say is people bet what they want to see, not what they will see,
Right.
or what they should see. And it's very apropos here when I see a lot of people who are on Cooks. At Paul and Boats finally just clued me in. So on me. And on you too here, James, because you play only on DraftKings, man. You love DraftKings. He's playing the 3-game slate from last night to tonight on DraftKings. So he's already used Rodgers and Montgomery. He's used Cobb. He's and Trey Burton and the Packers D. So he's got in there Gurley, Tate,
Yep.
Jordy Nelson, and Marshawn Lynch for tonight. So that's how he's rounding out that lineup here. I mean, I don't know where at Paul and Boats is as far as this tournament goes, and how much upside he's looking for. So do you like this Gurley's chalk for you? But then you've got Nelson and Lynch here on the other side.
I mean,
Tate too.
So knowing that he obviously took a hit with Trey Burton because Burton didn't have a great game. So I'm not going to say, I don't think Lynch is going to be very highly owned in comparison to Bilal Powell and Gurley and, the other running backs. And I don't think Jordy Nelson will either, although the price tag is nice on Nelson. But I mean, so from an ownership standpoint, that's fine. I just we just kind of crapped on the Raiders offense. So I'm not going to say it's bad. It's definitely a way to, Crowell's going to be higher owned for $300 cheaper. So, I mean, it's fine. It's fine. I don't love it, but it's fine. You got to, with the Burton goose egg, you got to get ahead somehow. So
yeah, absolutely, you do. He says he's 72nd out of 490. So you don't. So I mean, he's in a pretty good spot. You're gonna get. I mean, I can't imagine. What do you think Gurley's ownership realistically is? 95%. I think that's a little on the high side. I
mean, it's just like looking at the running backs and knowing you have to roster 2, and then knowing the situations in Detroit. How many people are just going to axe the Detroit backfield? I mean, if you're not on DraftKings, let's say you're playing FanDuel, where you'd rather have Theo Riddick on DraftKings, right? Because you're going to get the full point PPR. So now you're potentially axing everyone from the Lions backfield over on FanDuel. So I don't know. I mean, I'm just thinking it's just going to be so hard to pass up Gurley because you can spend down on a Doug Martin or a Bilal Powell both under 5K and be comfortable everywhere else. I don't know, the ownership, if I were to make 10 lineups tonight, or if you were to make 10 lineups tonight, Howard, how many have Gurley? How many would you put Gurley in?
If I was putting in 10 lineups, I'd probably have Gurley in at least 50% of my lineups. I would. I mean, I would probably even be like 60 or 70%.
60 or 70, right.
I mean, listen, you don't want to lose out. Again, the only problem is, and the problem that I have is with the defense being as strong as it is, I'm just,
right.
Again, looking at this, I guess I'm really kind of hung up on the point spread, James.
I agree.
I'm really kind of hung up on the point spread here. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I got hung up on the point spread with Tampa Bay and New Orleans, and I sat there all last week talking about the fact that if everybody expects the Saints to blow up these Tampa Bay Buccaneers so much, and everybody's crapping on the Fitzpatrick situation, and there's no real set backfield, and Mike Evans sucks at football because his yards after the catch are garbage. I mean, this was just if everybody's pounding that, why wasn't it double-digit point spread?
Right.
And so when I look at this and I say, well, if the Rams are so powerful, then why is it only a 5.5 point spread here in this game? And so where do I go with that? So, that kind of just, I mean, that's really what makes me nervous. And
Right.
that's, probably why I would say I would want Gurley in 50 to 60% of my lineups. But if I went more than that, I'm not really, I'm not really differentiating myself from the pack too much here.
That's fair. And that's probably where all the people that are looking at it from your side are putting in the 50 to 60%. And then everyone who's just saying it's going to be a blowout, it's going to be a blowout, are going 10 out of 10, 9 of 10, 10 out of 10 in Gurley lineups. That's fair. I just wanted to know if you were building talent, what your thoughts, because he's clearly the top option on the slate. I just wanted to see what you would be doing.
I don't know, man. I faded Kamara yesterday. What do you think I'm doing here? Man, I gotta tell you, man, it wasn't so much that it was a bad fade. Because I did have some good stuff going in my lineups. The examples that I posted on the site, like the FanDuel primary lineup, that cashed. The primary cash lineup that cashed everywhere. And then the pivot lineup on DraftKings that put up over 200 points, and that cashed in all the cash games. As far as my my GPP lineups go, well, somebody needs to get me that 62-yard touchdown that my man Derrick Henry ran, and then they called back, because that, my boy, would have changed everything all over the place for me. All over the place. Got a question here. Rich Stanton over on Facebook wants to know, James, what do you think? LeGarrette Blount or Kerryon Johnson tonight?
I mean, just Blount for like the touchdown upside. We don't know what Kerryon Johnson's, how many snaps he's going to see, how many touches he's going to see. The Lions could just literally go into a pass offense, and Theo Riddick is on the field all the way down to the goal line, and then LeGarrette gets the rock. So, I mean, probably for touchdown upside, I'd go LeGarrette Blount.
I like it. At Ballnag says it's John Gruden's comeback, Monday Night Football, and the black hole. Goff hasn't played well all preseason. Gonna be upset special.
John Gruden doesn't play.
Special.
John Gruden doesn't play football. I'm just saying, he coaches, and he has Spider Y2 banana in his back pocket. But I mean, I don't know if John Gruden's going to be out there catching Jared Goff interceptions. But we'll see.
We will definitely see. That's going to do it for us here on the live stream. Any last minute thoughts, hopes, dreams, aspirations? What are you doing for Monday Night Football, brother?
Just going to kick it back, waiting for the girlfriend to get home, make some dinner, and just have a couple beers and, just watch some, after a long, long day of football, there's nothing like 2 more games to round us out. Take us out.
Beers, dude. Do you have ID?
Oh, shit. I didn't mean to say that on air.
See, look at you, man. Now all of a sudden, now you're promoting teenage drinking, and then you're swearing. So now Craig Mish's kid can't watch the live stream. Well, you really just, set the world on fire. James Grande, everybody.
I will take my bow.
Well, yeah, that's going to do it for us here. Guys, wishing you nothing but the best. Jets game's about to start. I got to get prepared for it. I'm not even wearing any green right now. I got to get some green on me here. I got to pretend like it's St. Patrick's Day. For James Grande, I'm Howard Bender. Big thanks to Matt Wolf, our producer extraordinaire today. Enjoy Monday Night Football, baby. Take care.
Later, guys.